computer registry. We're going to talk about computer registry. How do I delete, and this is from Onyango, thank you very much for submitting another ticket. How do I delete, remove software installed from the registry? As always, when you pick up tickets, make sure they are assigned to you before you start working them. So this question here is about deleting and removing software installed from the registry. Every time you install a program, software of any sort, it creates a registry entry. So what is registry entry? We're going to talk about that. Let me just pull up registry editor here. So if you go to search and type in reg edit, it's going to come up with a registry editor. If you want to make changes to it, you have to run it as administrator. So you need administrator privileges, administrator login to make changes. Okay, so here is our registry editor. I'm going to start from basic. I'm going to make it easy to understand for anybody, to anybody who wants to know what the registry editor is and what registry does. It's going to be very simple to follow. Okay, so the question was, how do I remove software from the registry editor? And what this person actually means is, how do I remove registry entries? And what is registry? Registry is every time you install a program. Let's say when we installed Chrome here, right? Chrome is right, this icon here. Once you install Chrome, it installs a registry entry into the registry, which basically is a configuration for your software, in this case for Google Chrome. So when we installed Google Chrome, it installed or inserted or created a registry entry, which is basically a configuration. It's a configuration for your software for Google Chrome. So how do we find it? Well, when we installed Google Chrome, right, we have to go download it, and then we have to install it to our machine, which is our local machine, meaning your computer, right? Locally, you're doing it, and this is what happens, right? You download Chrome installer, you install Chrome, and then once you do that, it has to enter registration for it. It has to tell the Windows operating system what the settings are for Google Chrome. It uses these settings for Chrome functions. Okay, so again, you install Google Chrome on your local machine. So how do we find this inside of Registry Editor? Well, you've guessed it. It's under local machine, where it says H key local machine, right? So we're going to expand this and we're going to look for Chrome. Once I click expand, we're going to look for Chrome. So what is Chrome? What did we install? Chrome is software, right? It's software. So here we go. Here's software option right here, software folder, if you will, with the registration settings. We're going to expand that, and now we're going to look for Google Chrome. Sure enough, here it is. The very first thing, once we expanded software, here is Google, right? And when you select Google, it's just a folder where Google information will be, configuration will be. But so you can simply right click here and delete it, right? If you're no longer using Google Chrome, you can right click and delete, and that's how you do it. But let's kind of expand on this more. Literally, let's expand Google folder, and here it is. It specifies that now we have Chrome installed. Why? Because Google has multiple products. If you were to, for example, install desktop Google Drive, you know how you have your Drive, Google Drive for storage stuff, you can actually install a desktop version of that. So any Google product will be listed under Google folder. In this case, we have product name Chrome, and here it is, it's installed. And yet, we still don't see anything over here. Well, we still have to expand it because Chrome has multiple configuration. So if you expand this, here is part of it. Again, native messaging, and then expand it more, and here is more information. Okay. However, this is just one part of it, and this is a 64-bit part of Google configuration specifically for Chrome here that we looked at. So let's bring this back and go back to this, because there's more. There's another place where majority of actual configuration will be, and that would be under, and that will be under the 32-bit registry information. We're going to find that. So it's going to be the same deal, and it's going to be almost in the same spot, but I want you to know that there is a difference and that you can differentiate this between 64-bit and 32-bit. Now, what the difference is, well, it's just basically where Google Chrome chooses to install its configuration. Sometimes you'll have folders in both locations, sometimes only in one location. However, typical location is 32-bit, which is what I'm going to show you. So again, local machine, that's where we installed Google Chrome. We're going to expand that, and we know it's software. We're going to expand that, and we're going to scroll down and not look for Google because we already found it. What you see here is 64-bit subsystem of it. Here is the 32-bit subsystem of it, and which is right here. Wow, 6432 node. 6432 nodes. So it goes from 64 to 32-bit, and it's a node configuration. So we're going to expand that, and inside of this, so again, we're under software, wow 6432 node. This is where majority of stuff and most likely the main actual configuration of the program, and I'll show you, is. So we're going to expand this, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to look for Google folder, and here it is, Google folder. So same like we did previously, we're going to expand it, and here's another part of it where it says update. And say once I click this, you suddenly see that there are actually way more actual configuration files that you see. So once I clicked on update folder, and when you look on the right, these are registry entries for this part of software, right? These are registry entries, meaning configuration for it. So you may find inside of Google a file that's maybe has configuration settings inside. These might be the exact same settings that you're looking at here that are from registry editor, and these are just different ways of editing these settings. And there you go. That's how you do it. If you want examples on how to edit registry, I have a video I'm going to make a pop-up where it explains to you how you can create registry entries and what kind of purpose you can do with them, or what you can use it for, what kind of things it does. But all in all, you don't want to delete any registry entries for things that are still being used. So if you are no longer using Google Chrome, you can go in and delete any Google folders in there. It's going to be perfectly fine. But if you try to delete other stuff, I wouldn't recommend it. And it's not even a big deal to leave any of those entries. In some rare, super rare, well, I've actually never seen it. I was going to say in some rare situation, maybe leaving a registry entry will cause a problem for some other programs, but I haven't seen that in I don't even know how many years of IT support. So I wouldn't worry about it. But again, check out the video that I've made on how you can even remotely use Registry Editor to configure computers and software remotely, where you don't have to be there at all. You just over the network, you configure a registry entry, that will fix problems, especially if it's a configuration issues. So I'm going to say right in the reply here, you can search. Matter of fact, you can do a search, and I will show you that in my video that I link up here. Very important to watch it if you want to know more about registry. You can search reg edit to delete any unwanted registry entries, but be careful not to delete anything that your OS operating system might be using. Old/unused software you can delete. So right click anything that you find and just simply select delete. Okie dokie. I'm going to close this.